Hey guys, this is Jeff, and I'm going to go over how to get the artwork ready for the 24-inch wide silver step retractable banner stand. And to start off with, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to drag the template, the PDF template, into Photoshop. And when it goes to open it, it's going to ask me a couple questions. And the first one is the crop to. And you want this to be set at media box. And then for the resolution, since this is a full-size template at 100%, we want this to be set at 125 dpi. So if it's 300, go ahead and change it to 125 dpi. And for the color mode, this is going to be CMYK. If for some reason it's set on RGB, go ahead and switch it over now to CMYK. And once you've done that, click OK. And what this is going to do is this is going to actually open the full-size template in Photoshop. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to design literally right on top of this template. And that way you know that your position is going to be correct, the proportions are going to be right, etc. You just want to make sure to keep it as its own separate layer. So over here on the right, just keep the template as its own layer. So as you begin adding in other elements, just leave them all separate from the template. And the reason why is because in the end, you're going to go ahead and either delete or hide the template layer when you're all done with your artwork and just be left with the final finished artwork. So now what you can do is you can go to File and Place, and you can begin adding in all your design elements, your logos, your pictures, or anything else right on top of this template. And so the other thing to point out is that there's a couple different shades here. And what this means is this lighter blue area, so from the bottom to right about here, is going to be the minimum size banner that you can make. That's going to be the minimum size that fits into this particular stand. What I recommend is using the full height. And the reason why is the pole in the back that holds up the banner is actually adjustable. So you can actually move it up and down anywhere in this area. So to go ahead and get started, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you an example of some artwork that already fits this template really well. And that way it'll give you an idea of what we're looking for. Okay, so here's an example of some artwork that fits the template really well, and I know that because if I go over to the artwork layer and I right click and I go to blending options, I can actually move the slider down the opacity and it will reveal that the template is right underneath it. And so this is a really good way of checking the position of all your artwork and making sure it's exactly where you want it to be. And once you know that everything looks good, you can go ahead and back out there and click cancel. And at this point, what you want to do is you want to check the resolution. And what you can do is on a PC, pressing Control and plus, or if you're using a Mac, press Command and plus, and zoom all the way in until about 1 inch equals 1 inch in real life. So on your screen here, here's 10 inches, here's 11 inches. That's about 1 inch in real life, and that's going to give us a really accurate representation of what all the elements on the artwork are going to look like. So this will give you a chance to see if anything is pixelated, too blurry, and otherwise not suitable for printing out the banner. So you can see here everything looks really good. And just to go up and down one more time. So once you know that everything looks good and the resolution is sharp, you can go ahead and press Control and minus or Command and minus on a Mac and zoom all the way back out. So one other quick little thing is there's going to be a clamp bar that goes on the top here of the banner. And so you want to make sure to keep anything important at least an inch or so away from the very top. It's actually a good practice for doing it on the sides as well, as far as text. So any like logos or any text, you want to make sure to keep it at least like an inch or two away from the sides. Now, as far as the background goes, that's fine. You can go ahead and extend it all the way to the very edges, and that's going to be the proper way of getting the artwork ready. So at this point, what you want to do is you want to save a copy of the working layered file for your own use. So in case you need to make any edits now or in the future, you can always revert back to that file and you can just keep it for your own records. So now we're ready to go ahead and finish up here by taking the template layer, and you can either hide it, or what I do is I usually just drag it into the trash can. And so now we're just left with our artwork, and this is going to be the point where you want to go ahead and just flatten it so that we can just be left with the one file that's going to be the print ready file. And the way to do that is you go to layer and then you click on flatten image. And what that's going to do is it's going to take all your art layers and just compress it to just one final layer so that you can go ahead and save it. So now what you want to do is you want to go to file and save as, and you want to save it as a high resolution PDF. That's usually going to be the best file. It's a non-compression file, and it's going to allow you to have really good printing output. So those are some tips as far as getting the artwork ready for the 24-inch Silver Step banner stand. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Thanks a lot.